Hi, and welcome to Kate's Kitchen Party. Today I have the beautiful Lesley here, and we're going to talk about Girls Inc. So Lesley, how about you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Lesley Hubbard. I'm the executive director with Girls Inc. I've been with the organization for the last 17 years.
Yeah.
And it is such an honor to do this work.
That's very cool. So what service area is that? Like how much territory do you guys cover?
Right.
Yeah.
So we have an office based in Brockville, but our service territory is all of Leeds and Grenville. So we do outreach programming. We have a staff team of 4. 2 of those are our program staff members. So they do the direct service to the girls.
They're covering a lot of territory. That's a lot of young girls to inspire for 4 people, right?
Absolutely.
So for anybody who doesn't know what Girls Inc. is, I'm wearing my Girls Inc. swag here. I got my strong, smart, and bold mug and my strong, smart, and bold shirt. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it is that Girls Inc. is doing, what your mission is really?
Sure. So our mission is inspiring all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. We do group programming for girls between the ages of 6 and 18. Our programs are intended to help girls grow up healthy, educated, and independent. And really, it's about breaking down barriers. We know that society has a lot of areas where things are not equitable. And so we sort of worked in a 2-prong approach. We want to provide girls with opportunities and skills to help them face the world that we know waits for them. But simultaneously, we want to break down those barriers and change the inequities that currently exist so that the world is a more favorable place for girls to grow up.
And that's a really hard thing to instill in, especially in young girls. Well, I mean, even into my 20s, it wasn't until I reached 40, I think, that I actually had the level of self-confidence to, stand up for myself and kind of start feeling like myself, like knowing who I am. It took me that long to kind of figure it out. I didn't have a Girls Inc. I grew up a child. I was born in '82. I played on all boys hockey teams. I went to a predominantly male high school. Then I joined the military, and I was always in very male-dominated environments, and very character building and very interesting experiences. But man, I would have loved to have had a leadership from a program like Girls Inc. that could kind of teach me how to advocate for myself a little bit, right? Like it's an important skill.
For sure. And I mean, I hope that we're doing that for local girls. I think that also providing that place of belonging, right? This place where girls don't have to be everything to everybody. When they come to Girls Inc., they can just be themselves.
That's huge.
And they come as they are.
No judgment.
So encourage that, right? That it's a place where everyone can just be.
That's wonderful.
We talk about like inspiration, not expectations, and we talk about girls just having a chance to try new things and to find themselves. And you talk about like growing up and not knowing who you are. And I think that we put so much, we as a big collective, we put so much pressure on girls and women about what they're supposed to look like and act like and be and do. And so we really at Girls Inc. we're sort of about leveling that out and about
making them
challenging
feel safe.
Making them feel safe and challenging these shoulds, right? Like who told you that? Why is that what you're led to believe? And who benefits from that, right? Like you don't benefit from with upholding society's expectations of girls and women to look a certain way or act a certain way. So
that's kind of to me, that's like a really unreal thing to teach kids, because again, growing up, I never had that, right? I never had somebody be like, well, who are they to say that about you, or who are they to put that expectation on you? It was just always the way it was, right? You kind of just had your role and you filled it. And I think that's true of a lot of generations of women up until recent years, right? And even now, it's still like that in a lot of places. So I think it's really cool that you guys are providing that space for girls. I had the opportunity to go to your breakfast not too long ago, and the girls that were there representing the girls that you guys mentor were like they blew my mind, to be honest with
Unbelievable,
you.
eh?
They're
They're so lovely.
you know, they're standing up in front of a group of adults, you know, really impressive adults, professionals and PhDs, and they're standing up there and they're, you know, public speaking and they're talking about their own experiences and stuff. And I just thought it was incredible, because I never would have had the courage to do that when I was little, right?
We meet so many remarkable young people, and you know, we talk about our programs inspiring them, but ultimately they inspire us every day, right? Girls are so capable and so
amazing.
They are so amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that that's maybe a big message, is that, you know, Girls Inc. isn't about fixing girls, right? It's about encouraging girls and letting them see themselves, right? Holding up that mirror and letting them see how incredible they are, and making sure they know that about themselves and know the strength that they already have.
Yeah.
And we're just...
It's a really important job that you guys have. It's really, really cool. I guess my next question would be, how can, because we have people watching here today, we have people listening to our conversation, and I would really love to invite them to provide support if they can. And like, what would that look like for Girls Inc.? What kind of support would you guys need?
I mean, we're grateful for any kind of support. We don't have any core government funding, so funding is always a really big piece for us.
Yeah.
We run on the generosity of the community, the commitment of foundations, corporate donors, individual donors. We do receive funding from United Way.
Yeah.
So certainly donations are always most welcome and help to keep the work that we're doing moving. When we charge fees for programming, we have a full subsidy program. So we know that there are all sorts of barriers that exist in the world. And if we can remove some of the financial ones, we want to do that.
Yeah.
So our subsidy program is no questions asked. And if a family indicates that they could use a subsidy, then we don't ask questions about why that is, or ask them to, you know, provide any evidence to prove that to us. It's just we take them at their word that they need that. So this summer we had almost 200 girls come to summer camps.
Wow.
We had 10 weeks of summer programming in 8 communities, almost 200 girls, and we provided almost $14,000 in subsidized spaces to help about 40% of our girls.
And that came from generous donors.
That did.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's really incredible. Is there like a sponsorship kind of program too, if somebody wanted to sponsor somebody to go to camp, or?
Yeah, we sort of do it as like a general ask, right? Like a week of camp is $175, so your $175 is sort of providing a space at a camp.
Oh, that's cool.
Donations of any level are most welcome. We've got a profile on Canada Helps, so Girls Inc. of Upper Canada is sort of where to find us.
Yeah.
We also, volunteers are very helpful. I mean, they're the backbone of our organization. We've got 4 staff members. So volunteers are really crucial to helping the work progress.
And what kind of work would the volunteers be doing?
So there's a couple of different areas. I mean, special events. We do a fundraising hockey tournament every year. We do a women's hockey tournament.
Oh, neat.
I heard you mention hockey.
Yeah.
So that's one of our big fundraisers each year, the Champions for Girls Breakfast that we just hosted.
Yeah.
We do a Groceries for Girls program. That's a monthly wraparound support program. So
what is that? Tell me about that one.
Yeah, the girls that come to our programming are eligible to receive a basket of groceries once a month. So it's a partnership we have with the Brockville Food Bank. Our families get an order form, and they get to select what would be helpful to them. And we have a team of incredible volunteers that pack those orders on a monthly basis, and then more volunteers that come and pick up those orders and deliver them to households all across Leeds-Grenville.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Food insecurity is a really, it's a really big thing for my family personally. We try to do our best to help support the Brockville Food Bank. I had no idea that you guys did that. Mm-hmm. I think that's incredible. I hate the fact that so many kids go to school hungry.
Yeah, it's hard to do anything else, right? It's hard to do your best for your family when you're focused on meeting basic needs.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, so, it makes it impossible, really.
It really is, and getting harder and harder. So
it's so expensive right now.
See this as if we can help meet these basic needs, then that helps to make sure that girls can get to programs and that
can
they
focus
have those
on
opportunities. This last month, we had 35 families that received a package, and those are going out from
That's amazing.
Oxford Station to Gananoque to Sealy's Bay and Westport and Athens. So, I mean, volunteers that live rurally are particularly helpful. We'd love to hear from them, because if we can get packages from Brockville to some of those rural communities, that's a need we have on a monthly basis.
That's incredible.
And then volunteers with, general office help.
Yeah.
We've got a board of directors that is volunteers.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of ways to get involved. We'd love to hear.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that, I think we only have a few minutes left, but is there anything else that you would like to share with the people who are listening today? Is there anything else you need them to know?
I should probably have something top of mind for this.
It's okay.
And I don't. Yeah.
It's okay if you don't. No,
But
it's okay. I'm putting you on the spot.
Happy to share about sort of the way we deliver our programming, right?
Yeah.
I've talked about summer camp a bit. We also do school-based programming. So I thought I would mention that.
Okay.
Coming back after the pandemic, that's sort of just an area that we're just restarting. So we are back into a few schools, but are interested in being in more schools. So, I mean, anyone listening that is an educator involved in the school system, or for parents as well, right?
Yeah.
To know that it's available to schools. One of the benefits of school-based programming is that it's a population approach then, right? All of the peers are getting sort of the same messaging and the same opportunities, and then are sort of able to work with each other to grow and learn in that way, which is not the same way it happens in a community-based program. So
right, and it's pulling that safe space into the schools where the girls can kind of rally and get to know each other and support each other.
Right?
And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So we know that girls thrive in girls-only environments, right? It's a chance for them to try out leadership skills. It's a chance for them to take on roles that they don't always take on otherwise.
And to get to know people that they would otherwise maybe not hang out with.
Absolutely.
And broaden their sphere, kind of like broaden their base friend group, right?
Yeah, and we talk a lot about, like kind versus nice, right? And this idea of like, we don't have to be best friends. Other language we use is around being allies.
Yeah.
This idea that like we can have really positive and productive relationships, that you don't have to be best friends with everybody in your class or in your school, but
you do need to be
we don't have to have negative relationships, right? And
it's an important conversation to have with kids and as well as adults, is that there's just not enough positivity. I think it's very easy to fall into that, especially like social media and stuff, to fall into that trap of,
and girls are pitted against each other all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so we know that, right? This is what they're taught. This is learned behavior.
Yeah.
Everywhere they look, they're being judged and put up against each other, right? So trying again to help them develop the critical thinking skills so that they can see through that.
Yeah.
And find their own way.
Amazing. It's amazing. Building self-confidence.
So, yes.
Lesley, I just want to say thank you for having coffee with me. We're going to have Jackie Shoemaker Holmes, who is also with Girls Inc.
Colleague, yes.
And she's going to come up after the break. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.